ripping and roasting. Yeah, that's what we do. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, make that cherry glow. Whiskey and cigars, the gentleman's cologne.
Cheers, y'all. That sounds like a party just about to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fine radio program, podcast, and video extravaganza known internationally as the world-famous Smokin' and Toastin'. Welcome to the show. It's number 441. Terry, I think I need a little tiny bit more mic, perhaps.
All right.
My well sounded distant, which is probably for the best. But welcome to the show. As I said, show number 441. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. We will talk about all of those things. And our special guest in the studio today is Chef David Skinner from Meticulous Spirits and a couple of fine dining establishments, too, which we'll get to and talk about. But we're really excited to delve into your spirits because this is your distillery is located in Kemah. Is that right?
That is correct.
So Kemah's near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
Because we have a buddy down there, and he's got a little cigar lounge up above his restaurant, and we go down there, and we call it our home away from the studio. So we go down there quite frequently and do shows because we can sit in his cigar lounge and enjoy a cigar while
That's
we do
always
the show.
nice, yes.
That is
Or
nice.
2 or 3 or however.
2 or 3,
Depends how long the show goes. So, but welcome to show number 441. We're going to talk today about Meticulous Spirits. We'll also be bringing you what has been declared, not by me, but declared by supposed experts, the best Hazy IPA in the world. So we'll get to
In the world.
And I'm a Hazy IPA fan. You are less so than me, but you like a good hazy if it's balanced.
You know,
Yeah.
if it's balanced, I like that.
So we'll get to that. We'll talk about it, and we're very excited about it. We'll be trying, in addition to a number of different Meticulous spirits, which we see laid out before us. This is kind of like,
It's a sampler pack.
yeah, like when you're a little kid
Sampler pack ever.
and you're young enough that your parents don't hide the Easter eggs very hard because they want you to be able to find them. So you walk out in the yard and you just see Easter eggs everywhere. That's kind of what this is like, It's like, ooh, there's one there, there's one there. I'm very excited about it. We'll be trying some beers too from Seattle, Washington, and the brewery called Bizarre Brewing. We'll be trying their Mother Sky. It's a North German style Pilsner, and I'm not completely sure
Okay.
what North German means.
I have no idea.
Yeah, obviously in the north of Germany, but
Well,
beyond that, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Style-wise,
beyond its cardinal
yeah, right.
implications.
Yes, yeah, I'm not sure style-wise what the difference is between a North German style Pilsner and just a German style
No idea.
Pilsner.
Makes you
But
stand up and go, Jawohl.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We'll try. No, that was Elon Musk. But we'll try that. We'll try from Milton, Delaware, one of our favorite breweries, Dogfish Head Brewing Company.
Dogfish Head.
We'll be trying
So fun.
their Festina Peche ale with peaches.
Oh, they've had the Peche beer for a while now. I've seen it. I've never tried it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be very interesting. I got one of those. Mix packs.
Yeah.
And I think it or one of the others, maybe it was the Grateful Dead ale that was in there, was a limited one. So I thought, we'll bring this Festina Peche on the show and try it out. And then from St. Petersburg, Florida, and the Cycle Brewing Company, we'll be trying their barrel-aged stout called Friday.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and it even has a song that goes along with it. And I think we could play it, but we can't play it on the podcast because
I just have the Rebecca Black song in my head.
That's
now,
the one
thank
I
you
was.
very much.
That's the one I was thinking
it's
of.
Not.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Oh,
Friday. Got to get down on
Yes,
Friday.
that
I think I owe somebody money for quoting this lyrics.
was nobody gets money for that song. Nobody should get money for
So
that
here's,
song.
you know what the weird thing is? She's still recording and releasing music.
Is she really?
Yeah, she releases like pop songs, like all the. If you search her on like Spotify or Apple Music, you will see that Friday is not her only song.
for her.
She's hung in there.
Good for her.
Yeah.
That's good.
If you can, it would
I've
be
already
kind
forgotten who we're talking about.
of. You don't remember
You
the
don't
Rebecca
remember that
Black
song,
Rebecca
Friday?
Black Friday song? It was like the worst song ever recorded.
Oh,
You would be amazed at how much I can ignore pop radio.
I don't know if this one ever even made it on. It was so bad it didn't make it on to even to pop radio.
Well, see, it was
Like
played
morning show
Yeah,
joke
it was played
things
a
and-
little bit.
yeah.
It was played like that, but it didn't. I don't think it got a serious rotation, but it got that a jock would play it.
Hey,
thing.
everybody, listen to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's oh.
That's kind of like a smell the milk thing.
Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or does this look infected to you?
Yeah.
You know, it's like kind of one of those.
We got to play that for Ian because he sends songs that actually made it into the top 10 and says, "Wow, this was horrible. I never heard this."
Yeah.
We've got to play that.
Oh,
one for you.
that issue
Yeah, that
song is so bad. It's so bad. I literally went blind in one ear.
Somehow I am now getting stuff in my YouTube feed about really bad songs, like guys who this is one of the worst songs ever, and it's quite entertaining. We'll also be trying some Meticulous spirits here. I know there's a rum and an aged rum. I know there's a vodka. There's some gin. So this should be a very
Lucrative.
a very drunken type of show. So by the time we get to the end, so
Challenge accepted.
listen now while we're still, somewhat literate. Yeah, coherent. Yeah, that's good. Oh, we will have our regular features on the program. We'll be bringing you here in just a few moments the Smoking and Toasting Drunken Fact. And our Drunken Fact teaser headline is The Secret Link Between MLK and Pretty Woman. I got you with that one, didn't I? Yeah. You want to know what that is? We'll get to that momentarily.
I'm hooked. Now I have to listen till the end of the show.
In the second hour.
I mean, I kind of have to be here anyway. But
In the second hour, you got to stay around for drinking news. We'll bring you drinking news, which is where we bring you a story from the news that is sometimes, but not always, about drinking, but is always best enjoyed if you've been drinking. And our drinking news teaser headline for today: I've got to see some spam about a horse. So maybe that one will lure you into hour two. Just we can only hope. We also have a thing we like to do in our first segment here, where one of us will bring in a beverage. The only person who knows what it is the person what brung it, and it's a little thing that we like to call
The Beverage of Mystery.
beverage of mystery. So today it's a very clear and somewhat bubbly
it smells
beverage of
fruity.
mystery. Oh, it does smell fruity. Almost smells like a lifesaver type.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Like the cherry lifesavers.
I'm just happy we didn't get something that smells like Fabuloso again.
Was trying to help you out after that last week.
Oh, yeah.
So the lifesaver taste continues.
It does.
Yes, it does. If it wasn't for the artificial sweetener aftertaste, this would actually be delightful.
It's not the worst
Yeah, I'm not
artificial
getting-
sweetener
I'm not
aftertaste
getting,
we've
like-
had, but it is there.
But
I'm
it's
not
there.
getting an overly, it's not overbearing
Actually, I really like everything about this except for that one
Except for
detail.
that last
Except for
little.
that.
Yeah.
And you're
agree.
right, it's not as bad as it is on some things, right?
Yeah.
Chef, what do you think?
Yeah. It's not bad, but yeah, the aftertaste is.
Yeah. We run into that a lot with seltzers, and sometimes with the canned cocktails.
Yeah.
There's got to be a team of people that sit down and go, yeah, that's perfect. Can it? And I just don't understand those people.
Well, maybe they should try other. I mean, there are other artificial sweeteners out there. Things like, and Splenda's not like artificial, but it doesn't have the same sort of aftertaste to it. I don't know if it's more expensive or.
Now, in something like this, I can see how this could pass the test because it's clean tasting. You taste the cherry, and I know there's a lot of people out there that drink Diet Coke and Coke Zero. I'm not a diet drinker. I don't drink diet stuff because I just don't like
Can't
that in
stand it.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. And also, I spent some time in Europe one time, and when I did, I realized they all were like, that will cause cancer. Just drink regular sugar. And somehow they were all still thin, even though I'm not thin.
They've got a lot of smart
But
eating and drinking choices going on over there.
that's the thing is it's not overbearing with that.
I will mention this. I at one time used to drink a lot of Diet Dr. Pepper. I backed way off of it for the cancer-causing reasons you mentioned.
Yeah.
But one thing I will tell you is that once you get used to that aftertaste, you don't find it unpleasant. And I wonder if that would be the same situation with this. I
I'm
mean, we're
thinking-
sampling
I'm
it
not
for the
willing
first
to
time.
go through that, I think.
Yeah, but see, I'm
too much
thinking
effort.
there's people out there that already exist that are used to that taste, just like you say, and to them this would
You
be
know what
like good.
never has artificial sweetener aftertaste?
What?
Beer.
You're right about
vodka,
this.
But
And
Vod-
whiskey.
Vodka,
Rum.
yeah.
Yeah, also.
Absolutely.
Rum.
You have a question for me, Ian?
Is that a beverage of mystery in your pocket, or are you just happy to be here?
I am so happy to be here because it's a very large beverage of mystery in my pocket. We are enjoying, gentlemen, a black cherry White Claw.
Oh, okay.
And what's interesting is, of all of the beverages of mystery we've had, we've never had the White Claw as a beverage of mystery. And this is probably the most popular
Yes.
line of seltzers.
Like I
hard
said, I
seltzers.
like the flavor. That aftertaste kills it for me.
yeah.
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 I agree. Can you imagine if someone could come up with an artificial sweetener for these?
Well, the
that
funny
didn't
thing
have
is,
it?
it's
They
not
would
even
rule the
really
seltzer
sweet.
world.
It's not super sweet either.
Right.
So
Yes, that's why does it even
I
have to
figure,
have
I
it
guess
in
it
there?
has to have a 0% or something like that. But I imagine if you sweeten it with real sugar, it probably wouldn't be that crazy, right?
Well, so here's a question I have for you. I drink a lot of the non-alcoholic seltzers, right?
Yeah.
So they're flavored, but they have 0 calories, and they're carbonated like the regular seltzer.
Are you talking about the unsweetened ones?
Yeah,
I
but-
drink those all the time. Love
Yeah,
them.
like the
LaCroix and Waterloo.
right,
and,
like the black cherry. Like
Yeah, oh,
those
yeah.
taste great
Delicious.
without needing. Why couldn't you make one of those with alcohol and just not have it be
you can
sweet?
make those pretty easily at home.
Yeah.
just a little vodka.
I feel like that the
Pour a little vodka
drinker.
in it.
Yeah, I feel like the drinker of White Claw drinks a lot of diet soda. I think they're
I
the
think
kind
so.
of people that
may
drink
be right.
diet
Yeah.
soda and they also drink White Claw, and I think that's why it translates easy for them because it's not a bad taste.
You may be right about that. You may be right, but that's our beverage of mystery. Certainly not the worst hard
I'm
seltzer
using this
we've
beer
had.
to scrub my tongue.
And is it working?
Yes.
Kind of like one of those tongue scrubber things that you have, the beer equivalent of
The
it.
bubbles, the effervesce on the tongue.
I think, Terry, we've got just enough time to do the drunken fact if you want to
all right.
want to ring us in here.
All right, let's do that. And now it's time for another smoking and toasting drunken fact.
That went well. See, we've had some fumbles on the drunken fact intro lately, but that one went. That's exactly how it's supposed to go. Our drunken fact
Cut
for
and
today.
paste, my friend. Cut and paste.
And remember, the drunken fact started out as the drinking fact. It was facts about drinking. We kind of ran out of those. So rather than have to stop playing that fanfare, which is our very favorite thing on the whole show, we decided to just morph it into the drunken fact. These are facts that could be about just about anything. We do know they are true because I found them on the internet.
That's right.
And
If
so
it was on the internet.
These are things that next time you're at a party and people around you are drinking, if you remember some of these and drop them in, people will be amazed at your knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah, so you drop some knowledge on them. Here's your knowledge drop for today. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once paid Julia Roberts' hospital bill. It's a true fact. Back in 1967, Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King covered the cost of Julia Roberts' birth in the hospital. It turns out that Robert's parents could not afford the bill, and the King's gesture was a heartfelt payback. Julia's parents, who ran a theater school in Atlanta, had welcomed the King family's children as students when they had trouble finding a place that would accept them because they were black. And as a thank you, Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King Jr. covered the hospital bill when Julia Roberts was born.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that's
pretty
worthy
cool.
of a
Wow.
fanfare.
That
Think how knowledgeable you're going to sound when you drop that on someone
yeah,
else.
that's insane.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like saying Walt Disney's last thing he ever wrote down was Kurt Russell. True story.
You should have saved that for a true fact. I would have let you do a drunken fact.
Use that.
We could have used that. Yeah. Now I got to find a different one for next week. All right, we got to take a break. Thank you for joining us for Smoking and Toasting. Meticulous Spirits in the house. We'll talk about the best hazy IPA in the world, plus some cigars to watch for coming up at Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back at Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. I'm going to lay another fact on you. I think you'll enjoy this. We're just full of facts, this show. You know, you heard about Kurt Russell. You heard about Martin Luther King Jr. and Julia Roberts. Now I'm going to lay this one on you. Beating out the Great Wall of China and Machu Picchu, the world's leading tourist attraction has been named, and it is the Guinness Brewery and Storehouse in Dublin, Ireland.
Wow.
The world's greatest
That's
tourist attraction.
brilliant.
Now, have you been to the Guinness Brewery in Ireland, haven't you?
No, not in Ireland.
Oh,
no.
okay. So you've been to the
I
one
went
up
to
in
the Open
in,
Gate Brewery in
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Okay.
yes.
For some reason, I thought you and your wife had gone to Ireland.
Oh,
and
that
you
would be
visited.
fun.
Yeah, my buddy Dave has gone there, and he was just, raving about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said it was amazing.
Maybe we need
so.
to make
a pilgrimage,
a pilgrimage. Yes. Maybe we need to make an on site.
an on location.
Yeah, this is a business trip, if you
Think
will.
they would pour us some beers to have on the show?
Yes.
I bet they would. I bet they would. Anyway, I thought that was a really cool.
That's pretty awesome.
A really cool fact. The world's leading tourist attraction. Think over the leaning Tower of Pisa and the Eiffel Tower and the Great Pyramids and the Guinness Brewery, my friends.
That's amazing.
Yes,
thank
it
you for
deserves
that.
that. It absolutely does. Ian, do you have a
Oscar
opportunity to
Valdez.
smoke anything interesting this week?
You know I'm
already
a
said
fan of
you already
Oscar
said the
Valdez,
magic
right?
words, yeah.
The guy makes just great cigars. So the Superfly has been.
I love the Superfly.
Yeah, it's such a great cigar. He makes a Connecticut version of this. Have you tried that one
I
yet?
have not tried the Connecticut. I tried the
Superfly-
Maduro.
Superfly Connecticut has a light brown, smooth wrapper with some veins to it. Purple and gold 70s theme label because it's Superfly, of course.
Of course,
Do
yeah.
you have a little Curtis Mayfield we could play? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, only like 10 seconds of it, otherwise we have to pay royalties.
there's bad words in it.
Yeah.
Firm, solid construction feel overall. The pre-light sniff on this smells like fresh mown grass, hay, a hint of cinnamon and mint, and apple blossoms and earthiness. Yes, I said apple blossoms.
You did. I was very impressed.
The pre-light draw on this sweet nutmeg, mint, and a little tangy on the lips. The initial light, blast of mint and pepper, fermented hay, tangy spice, toasty finish to it. The first third of this, I get nutmeg and toast, hints of citrus, mint, and cinnamon with a woody finish. Slightly uneven burns, solid ash. The retro hail is also a little bit of campfire and a little bit of a woody note to it as well. The second third on this, tangy lemon sweetness, white pepper kind of evolve with strong cedar notes, minty and sweet finish, perfect burn, solid ash. The retro hail on this has a little bit of the mint and more woodiness to it.
Sounds like it's got a lot of flavor for a Connecticut cigar.
It's a pretty good cigar.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Mild to mild plus strength with big flavor. Mint moves forward with hints of coconut and nutmeg. Coconut without being suntan lotiony.
Yeah.
Cedar ramps up. Hay and campfire with white pepper finish. Retro hail again is a little minty with a little bit of campfire and a little bit of wood. Solid ash, perfect burn. This cigar comes in about $11 now. I'm going to give it a 6. It's
Nice.
great. If you want something a little on the
Nice.
lighter side with massive flavor, it's fantastic.
I would just mention that there are two distinctly different flavors that we identify as coconut. One is like the coconut shavings
Right.
that you get on, say, a German chocolate cake or something like that. And the other is, in fact, suntan oil. It's also coconut, but they're distinctly different, those
They
two.
are distinct.
And it's an important thing to note. Well, I'll tell you about my cigar this week. I smoked the H. Upmann Hispaniola by Jose Mendez in the Toro size.
Nice.
And while my fanboy crush, A.J. Fernandez, has done a number of cigars for the H. Upmann line, he's not the only tobacco blender to get his name on a label wrapped around an Upmann cigar. Jose Mendez developed the Hispaniola blend for H. Upmann as well, and I grabbed the Toro size to talk about for you all this week. It's rolled in the Dominican Republic using Andullo and Pilotico tobaccos from the DR, along with some Nicaraguan leaves for the filler, Uses an Olor binder from the Dominican Republic, and all draped in an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. It's a very pretty cigar. A nice, smooth wrapper with without a lot of veins. A very classy yellow, gold, and red take on the traditional Upman band. Pre-light sniff and the cold draw showed some creaminess and rich tobacco, a very promising sign. I lit the Española up and took the first puffs to be greeted by what I might call a Nicaraguan pepper flutter.
Oh.
I'm not sure how much Nicaraguan tobacco is used in the filler blend, but there was definitely pepper on the first puffs. Not overpowering, but it was there. So it wasn't like lighting up an AJ New World or something like that where you get that boom Nicaraguan pepper blast. But there was definitely pepper there. Once that pepper flutter settled down, I was able to get some of the creaminess that the cold draw had seemed to promise, which was a nice balance to the pepper on the finish and the tongue. There was a hint of an astringent note of oak as well that seemed to weave its way into the blend every so often. Burn started out a little crooked, but not too bad. Draw seemed quite good from the start. A little bit of smoky meatiness made its way into the Española by the second third and actually moved to the front of the noticeable flavors. The sweetness from the first third took a back seat, and savory became more dominant by the halfway point. I did touch up the burn line with the lighter once. Did the job for the most part. The ash hung on pretty solid. This cigar probably started out medium-bodied, but by the final third, it had kicked up all the way to almost full. It wasn't like a La Flor Dominicana chisel or anything, but it's pretty powerful. Last third gave me more pepper, more meaty smokiness, and the occasional appearance of that astringent oakiness that I mentioned earlier. Nice and strong, especially for a cigar using a lot of Dominican tobacco, but still decently balanced. I smoked it while drinking salted caramel iced tea, but I think a simple regular proof bourbon would work well with the Española, maybe a Buffalo Trace or Angel's Envy, something like that. The strength that this one built to makes it not a great smoke for beginners, but if you enjoy the occasional full-bodied cigar, it's actually quite nice at $9 to $10 a stick. Seemed to hit right at its price point, so I'll give it a solid 5 on our price to quality scale. We'll explain what that scale means, but we got to take a break, so we'll do that when we come back, and we'll also get started with some of the tasting. Excited about Meticulous Spirits in the house. It's Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back, my friends. It is Smoking and Toasting. That wasn't a loud noise, but I could tell what you were doing because I recognized that sound from being at home. When I'm bringing a spirit in for the show, I often will try to do that before I bring it in order to keep...
And I always appreciate that because there's always a danger of getting a little plastic cut on my finger when I'm trying to take that off.
So I want to make sure we're compliant with all OSHA regulations. And then the other thing I try to do before I bring the spirit in is I try to clear the neck of liquid.
This is a very dangerous spot for me because there could be a slight amount of spillage here.
That's right. And I try to prevent that by making sure that I take some of the liquid out of the bottle at home before I bring it in. But that's it's going to happen. It's just it's going to happen. You'll be careful, and we'll continue.
I'm catching those drips with my napkin there.
Chef David Skinner is here with us. The chef is with Meticulous Spirits, but you also obviously are a restaurateur. That's the right word, isn't it?
That's a good word.
What are your restaurants that are open currently?
So we have Ishtia, which is kind of the flagship restaurant, and then we also have the Preserve, which is one that I have done with Chef Binchuan at Street to Kitchen. So it's a blend of Native
Street to
American,
Kitchen, that's the other one I was trying to remember.
Yeah, Native American and Thai.
Wow, that sounds really cool because I love Thai cuisine, but a Native American twist on it seems really interesting. Yeah, really interesting.
It's a historical menu that we do there, so it's not fusion. A lot of people are like, oh, how do you blend the two? But Thai food is really kind of a modern invention. If you go back 500 years before the Portuguese set foot there, their food was very much the same as Native American food.
Interesting, because Thai food can be, it's not all, but can be really spicy.
Exactly.
And it just seems, I don't necessarily think of that as being, you think of that must be something that goes back a long, long ways, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's
500 years.
That's so interesting.
Another fact for you.
I think Thai is probably my favorite of the Asian cuisines, although I am really partial to Vietnamese. That is also quite good. But yeah, Thai cuisine is just, to me, is just so interesting. And I'm going to assume that restaurants came first and distilleries second for you. Is that correct? So what made you decide, you know what, I got these restaurants going on, we're doing well, I need to open a distillery. Where did that idea come from?
Yeah, so I started a winery in '07, and so that was the idea was, well, I like wine, so maybe I should have a winery, and that's a bad financial idea, but but you can drink the profits. So
Yes,
it's okay.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but
We spill that much. That's my
yeah.
favorite winery.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was in Spain, in Barcelona, back in '18, and went to the Gin Marais distillery, which was beautiful. It's an old chapel that they had brought up from the coast, like brick by brick.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and literally, the whole place is like 3 times the size of the studio, teeny tiny, right?
Wow.
And it was a beautiful sunny day, and had a great tasting. We were there basically almost all day, and I asked the guy, I was just like, so how many cases do you guys produce? And he's like, 80,000. I'm like, well, it must not be here. And he's like, no, right here. They had a 100-gallon pot still and a little 25-gallon. And I'm like, okay, you have to walk me through the math because I don't understand this. And he's like, and we were there, and there was like nobody doing anything. And he's like, well, this is the only day of the week that everybody has off, which is why you're here. But the rest of the time we're full bore in here, and what we do is we make all of the flavored distillates, and then we compound it with neutral wheat that we get from France. And I was like, well, that's just brilliant. So you're telling me in the space of like a living room, I could make 80,000 cases of gin? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. I went home and I'm like, guess what? We're starting a distillery.
It's a great
awesome.
story. Now, most people when they start a distillery, let's just say you want to make whiskey. If you want to make whiskey, you basically have 2 choices. You can either make some whiskey, put it in barrels, and wait.
Yes.
Or
You're
you
not
can,
going to make money on that for
right.
a while.
It's going to be a while before you get any return on that. Or you can obviously use other people's distillates and blend them and put out your own blend whiskey. What a lot of distilleries do is they'll start with vodkas or gins or
Gin,
rums,
yeah.
things that don't have to necessarily have the same aging process added to them. And is that what you decided to do? Was that the reason?
That was actually not the reason. So we already had the winery and we already had equipment to make wine. And what's unusual about our spirits, we do have a bourbon, which I do source and bring in, and we tell everybody that we source it.
There's nothing wrong with doing that, by the way. The only time that it's bad is if you're not transparent
If you don't
about
tell people.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So we're very transparent about it. Matter of fact, we only sell it out of the distillery. We don't even put it
market
on
it
shelf.
out
We
to
don't
shelves,
market it.
yeah.
No, we don't. But we're really good at liquids handling. The problem with bourbon is you have a huge amount of solids handling because of all the grain.
Right.
And corn and so forth. And
Requiring maybe more space than your smaller distillery,
it takes more space, and it's just a pain in the ass with a solids
I
handling.
love that.
Yeah. So, but wine. So our vodka is made from wine. So we're one of the few that do not use grain. We use wine, and we use our wine.
Took a sip of this vodka, and it's incredibly clean.
Yeah.
And it has a sweetness, and I think that's the way the alcohol kind of tricks the tongue a little bit, because it's not you don't put anything sweet in there, obviously, but it has almost a sweetness when you're drinking it by itself. It's incredibly clean.
Wow,
though.
it really is. Now, with vodka being
and very little nose, not even like an alcohol nose.
I was going to say I get a lot more flavor from it than
Correct.
I got on the nose.
Yeah, we say our vodka is vodka with flavor, not flavored vodka. Because there's tons of flavored vodka that tastes like, well, I can't say it.
But with vodka, though, essentially being a neutral spirit. I mean, for most
Correct.
people, vodka is
supposed
what
to
you
be-
put in the drink, and then you put the other items in to add the flavor. But what is considered like a good vodka? In other words, what are you striving for then if it's essentially a neutral spirit?
Yeah, so for me and what we've done with Meticulous Spirits is I want every one of our products to be something that you can literally do what we're doing right now. Crack the bottle open and drink it, right? If you can't do that, we don't sell it. It's the same thing with our food.
Now, a
If
lot of
you
people.
can't,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you have to cover it up with so many different flavors or whatever, there's something wrong with it.
I have
right?
to give it to you. I mean, vodka is not normally what I sit around and sip, but this is a good sipping vodka.
It really
I mean,
is.
it
And
really
it
is.
It finds me. Then I'm a fan of vodka martinis. I know Ian will tell you that's not a martini. A martini is made with gin. But I like to make martinis with vodka, and I really like making dirty martinis. So I'm so interested to find out.
I
what
want it so
this-
dirty there's still lipstick on the glass.
Exactly. I'm so curious as to how this would come across.
It's fantastic.
in a nice ice cold
Exactly.
dirty martini.
Yeah, because you're drinking at room temp.
Right, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's working. Ian, I'm noticing that the beer you opened is a little excited there. It's
It's a very excited beer.
It's foaming. We're going to get to it in a moment.
and you
It
say
is
this
the,
comes from wine?
Yes.
How does
So-
this come from wine?
So you use wine as your basic.
Wine is the base.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just grapes. It's actually already fermented
Yes,
wine.
that's correct.
Okay, interesting.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And so vodka can be made from a number of
Yeah,
different things.
potatoes,
you know,
you name it.
right, wheat, corn. Yeah,
If you can ferment it.
yeah.
If you can ferment it, you can make
Right.
vodka
Oh,
from
okay.
it.
So it's just so interesting to me though, because your wine is already fermented. So
Right.
what is the additional process that it goes through to become vodka? What is that like?
Yeah, so we make the wine. Typically, we use a Cabernet for this. And once the wine is fermented, we basically take it, we put it in the still, and we distill it.
And what kind of reaction have you had to this? Because I have to tell you, this is one of the better tasting vodkas I've ever
I'm
had.
telling you, for sipping, I would sip this.
Yeah,
This is- yeah.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And that's people love it.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like, I didn't necessarily, this is the first time I've tried your vodka, I did not necessarily expect that, but this is much more pleasant to drink, just totally neat, than say a Tito's or
Yes.
some of the things you would, and I'm not knocking Tito's, there's nothing wrong with
no.
Tito's, but it's got a sort of a bite to it,
A harshness.
a harshness that this does not have.
Yeah,
No,
all of them.
It's so
I mean,
smooth. It just
Like,
drink
imagine
Alpine
drinking
Blue.
vodka that has almost no heat to it. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Vodka's already, will get you in trouble.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but this
There's
is
almost a softness to the,
There
like a
is.
silkiness to the
Yeah.
mouthfeel.
it has
on this
a
as
buttery mouthfeel.
Well. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I could almost see this in a martini, a super ice cold martini with no other ingredients.
With nothing else.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
like,
need
okay,
anything
so
else.
the more I taste this, the more I think almost like with that silky kind of buttery mouthfeel you're talking about, it almost comes across like whipped cream.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like as
Yeah.
crazy as that sounds.
In fact, if you were to tell me, like sight unseen, that this was kind of like a whipped cream or a marshmallow
Yeah, yeah,
vodka
yeah.
that you'd
Flavor.
gone real easy on the
Yeah.
flavor with, I probably would believe you. But this is just
Yeah,
the
there's
actual
nothing.
juice.
This is it.
I love that.
Nothing else.
I love that. Now, flavored
That's
vodkas are obviously a big deal right now, but I think one of the reasons is because people are looking for something that isn't just that harshness. If they're
That's
gonna
it.
drink it straight or over ice or
Yeah.
ase in a cocktail, this is already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's right.
absolutely already there.
I think flavored vodka as a category, kind of its own. I think it can be used to like add flavor to the drinks you're making and things like that.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I've never really tried a flavored vodka where I go, I'm gonna drink
I'm
that.
going to drink that.
The
Yeah. That's
closest
the problem.
The
You know?
closest thing I've tried is Deep Eddy grapefruit. That would be the closest thing I've tried
It's
to
not
And
something.
bad.
very specifically the grapefruit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, not the
Yeah.
lemon, not the
No.
the iced tea. I just want to like what was I buying? But the grapefruit actually is not bad if you're looking for something like that. But this, I have to say, this is easier
What is this?
sipping than
What does
than
this
a
retail
grapefruit is.
for?
Like 42.
So it's a little bit upper level, but I mean,
It
it
is.
tastes like it.
Yeah,
It absolutely tastes
It
like
definitely delivers.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this vodka, obviously in Texas, it's available.
Yeah.
Outside of the state of Texas, can people get this?
Not at the moment, but we're working on that.
Not yet.
All right, good. Well,
Not yet.
it is definitely worthy of it.
This is going to be on my shelf from now on.
Honestly, I expected to get really excited when we got to the rums, but I had no idea I'd be this excited about the vodka. That's
Yeah,
terrific.
Wait till we get to the rums.
Now I'm even more excited about getting to the
He's
rums.
daring us.
Yeah, I like this.
Mother Sky, North German style Pilsner here.
So this is from Bizarre Brewing, which is out of Seattle, Washington. A lot of breweries in Seattle, and we're trying their
Whoa, what a nose.
North German style Pilsner. You're right.
And
boy,
it
this
is way carbonated too.
And I'm just from the nose.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
is.
bring on the pretzels and the
exactly.
bratwurst, right?
Mother Sky is our North German style Pilsner brewed with the finest Pilsner malt to celebrate our second anniversary. We hopped Mother Sky with Hallertau, whatever, and some other German words, and Spalter in the kettle. Okay, yeah, we're leaving all that out. Then fermented it cold.
nothing but the info here on Smoking and Toasting.
Cold facts here. And then fermented it cold and naturally carbonated with our house lager strain. So that explains that big carbonation to it.
You're right
It
about the
smells
carbonation.
so
but
good. You're
it's
right. I mean,
delicious.
Yeah,
It
love
is
very nice.
pretzels and
Yep. Cheese.
yeah, I can see that.
But it also is pretty easy drinking, just like all by
There's
itself.
also
like
a slight
I could see having
lemony
this at
kind
the
of
pool.
note on
you know?
the nose
There's a
too.
little bit of lemon. Yeah.
A little bit of lemony note on the nose.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good beer.
That's nice.
That's a really good beer. Like I could totally
Again,
see hanging out at
silky
the pool with this.
mouthfeel. Like what's
Yeah.
going on with the silk today?
And we haven't even got to the gin.
No.
It's funny because the bubbles were they were so present coming up, but it's almost more of a nitro style mouthfeel than a CO2 style mouthfeel.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not that those bigger bubbles. It's those.
It's not the
smaller
bubbles that are big and spicy, like
No.
dancing on the tongue. It's
Oh, they're very refined.
really good.
I'm going to tell you, this is. We've had some pilsners across the last few months here on the show that have been quite good.
Yeah.
This may be one of the best ones.
This is crushing it.
Yeah, it really is. And I
Bizarre
what's
Brewing.
the ABV on this, Ian? Can you tell-
4.4, so very crushable.
Yep, very much so. This is my new pool beer. I like this. These guys are out of Seattle, so I think most states do a pretty good job of being able to get Seattle beers into their stores from Washington State, because Washington State's known for having so many craft breweries. I do think I got this one on the Tavour app, so if you have that, you might want to look for it. And look for anything. I want to try more from Bizarre Brewing because
Yeah,
this is
outstanding.
This is really spectacular.
Also,
So-
it tastes very German.
yes, it
It
does.
does.
You know, it
Yeah.
has that.
Absolutely.
It has that kind of thing to it.
It is North German.
North German.
North German. So yeah,
That's like
not like those wimpy South Germans.
Yeah, but don't know how to salute.
That's right. That's right. That's the direction Elon was pointing, was north.
North, exactly.
All right, we have to take a break, and we will return momentarily with more Meticulous spirits and more good beers. At least I hope so. We'll be right back. It's Smoking and Toast. Oh, nice. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toast, and our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. We're going to get back to more fine spirits here in just a moment with Chef David Skinner from Meticulous Spirits. But first of all, I went on AI and asked Grok about northern Germany, and after several prompts, which I can't really share with the rest of you guys about it being the superior place. No, I'm joking. It didn't say that. Here's what it said. Northern Germany it's actually not Grok. This is from Google AI. Northern Germany is home to several notable cities. Hamburg is a major port city and vibrant cultural hub. Bremen, known for its history and unique architecture, is another prominent city. Hanover is another large city and important administrative and commercial cities. Other northern Germany cities include Kiel, a port on the Baltic Sea, and Lübeck, a historic city. So just those are some of the areas in northern Germany, which we bring up because this last Pilsner that we really liked, called Mother Sky.
yeah, it's very good.
I'm glad it didn't say Motherland. See, that would have
Yeah, that would have been
that would have made it
Motherland.
weird.
That would have made it, yeah.
But Mother Sky is okay. I can handle that. But anyway, it's quite good. That's a very
That is
good,
good.
Pilsner. And we
I'm
also
still
had
sipping on my. There's a little champagniness to it as
Yeah?
well. This
The
thing
real
just
champagne
keeps
of beers.
You know,
keeps
Ian,
going.
I'd like to be able to take your word for that, but you know,
You're gonna have to pour yourself
this is
a
a
little
very
more to try.
important show to to make sure that we're being correct and truthful. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'll check that out. While I'm doing that,
That's
though,
a good beer.
you're pouring us some gin, aren't you, sir?
Yes, sir.
You know, that's why you got to be careful.
For some
if you-
reason, I don't have one.
You've hidden yourself.
Oh,
yes,
I was
yes.
hidden, but thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't want to be left out of the experiment here.
This
So-
the nose on this is about as classic gin as it gets.
Yes.
So
This is
you mentioned, Chef, that this is a London style gin, correct?
Correct.
And
That
what
is
does
correct.
London style mean in gin speak?
In gin speak, it's probably the most, I would say, the most common style.
seems very straightforward.
Very
on the nose.
straightforward. Juniper notes, usually some citrus.
Yeah, you can definitely get the juniper on the nose.
Yeah.
And when you are distilling gin, there's obviously a fork in the
Juniper, that
road.
citrus is something between
Yeah.
a lime and an orange. It's kind of like and zesty.
There's obviously a fork in the road where you go one way you're making vodka, you go another way you're making
Correct.
gin. What happens to say, okay, here we have our basic distillate, now we're going gin? What do you do?
Yeah. So in the still that we have, we basically put in a gin basket where we put all the different botanicals
Right, the different things that give it those
to give
flowery
it those notes, right? And then we use basically our vodka to make the gin.
Okay,
So
that makes sense.
what happens is so if we're making vodka, there's no gin basket, there's no botanicals, there's nothing. It's just going straight from wine, turning into vodka. When
Okay.
we make the gin, we put the gin basket in the very top of the column.
And this also starts as wine, just like the vodka, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you put the gin basket in
In the
top-
very top of the column, right? And what happens is, as the vapor comes over as it's distilling, it pulls the oils out of all the different botanicals that we put in there.
So let me tell you right off the bat what I really like about this gin. I struggle sometimes with the juniper in gin.
Everybody does.
And what I really like about this is I get all that juniper on the nose, but then when
But
I
not in the
taste it,
taste.
it's not nearly as prominent.
Yeah.
It's there, giving it, you know that it's gin.
You know it's gin.
Right. But it doesn't kind of
Doesn't
just
taste like
knock
you just
everything.
kissed a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
well said, sir.
My grandmother used to have these bushes in front of her house, and what those smelled like are what most gins taste like to me, and it's why I'm not a big fan. Because
the interesting
used to
thing
have
on
to
this, the
trim them.
botanical part of this, it, like you said, is very present, but it's not lingering on the palate at all.
Right.
What's another interesting thing is the heat on this. So first off, you take a sip of this, there's almost no initial heat. Then you get heat in the middle of the tongue.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then it very slowly
Slowly moves to
develops
the
a
back.
little bit on the back of
little
the
gin hug at the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredibly strange. I took 2 sips and enjoyed it the whole time. You have to wait for it. Like you have to be patient.
So yeah, this again.
And then you have this little aftertaste of the gin. You know,
That stays with you.
distinctly the gin, but it actually almost drinks like your vodka did. It's silky and
That's right.
buttery, like
100%,
you said.
yeah.
You know,
100%.
right.
Again, you've achieved great sipability.
Yeah.
And this is with 2 spirits, both vodka and gin,
Now-
which are not necessarily known as sipping spirits.
you
right?
said you have 4 different expressions of the gin.
Yeah. In addition to this.
In addition, so 5 total.
Yeah, we have 5 total. So we have one for kind of each season. They're only at the distillery, but the idea was, because I'm a gin guy, which kind of makes sense, right? So if you're a chef, gin's the best expression you can probably do because you have all these different things.
Because you're a chef,
Because you're a chef, yeah. You come to the distillery and you go into basically our gin room, and we have 245 different botanicals that we can pull from. And so one of the gins that we make has over 60 different botanicals in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, and all kinds of notes.
Are
that
you
would
are you
never imagine.
constantly experimenting with this?
All the time?
So
That's got to be fun.
are your other gins more floral
Yes.
in taste than this
Some.
is? Yeah.
Some, well, than this, yes. I mean,
Okay.
this is kind of what people would associate with Hendrix or whoever, right?
This is the baseline. Yeah.
This is the baseline, right? And this one has 14 different botanicals in it.
Well, it's definitely botanicals in there. You don't you don't mistake it for a vodka.
Yeah.
But that said, it doesn't overpower me the way that some gins can do and make me say, okay, I like this, but I couldn't
drink it on its own.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
right.
you can. That's what I said before. I mean, I
Orange
designed
zest
these
on the finish.
Big
Like
time.
I'm starting to get that orange
We have
zest.
two different. We use a Seville orange and then a California orange.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought I tasted. When I first took the first sip, I got that orange.
I got the citrusy,
Yeah.
but it took a minute to identify that
Yeah.
orange
All right,
zest.
2 spirits so far. 2 spirits that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be so sippable, and they are. Boy, we're going good, and we haven't even got to the rum. We'll. I love rum. In case I didn't give that away, so we'll get to that coming up. Plus, we have more beers to taste and drinking news in the second hour of the show. You are watching and listening to Smoking and Toasting. We will be right back with hour 2. Welcome back at Smoking and Toasting. Seems like a good time to mention that here on Smoking and Toasting, with the exception of a few things like our fanfare for the Drunken Fact and a few other things, that our sound effects here on Smoking and Toasting are largely all real and organic, which is for 2 reasons. Number 1, we like being real and organic, and number 2, we can't afford a sound effects library. So that's, we're fond of saying that here at Smoking and Toasting, we spare every expense. And that's exactly what we
have to sacrifice a beer. Every time you hear a beer opened, we are actually opening a beer.
We're sacrificing a beer.
We are being authentic.
For the sound effect and for the taste and for the flavor. So we're pouring an ale from Dogfish Head, which Dogfish Head makes some great IPAs. I'm a fan of IPAs myself. Not everyone is. In fact, we often get one of my favorite things is when we get somebody on the show, and there's been a number of them that come on. They say, "Yeah, I'm not really an IPA person," and then we have an IPA on the show that week, and they go, "I'm not an IPA person, but this is really good." And I'm like, "See,
This smells like the peach, but like right next to the pit.
Yep, absolutely. So
That's
before
really nice.
before we taste this, which I'm sure Ian already has, let me give you the finalists, the bronze, the silver, and the gold from the Craft Beer Awards for the best hazy IPA in the world.
Bring it on.
One of the reasons I want to share this is because I've never had any of these 3 IPAs. So I'm very excited about this because I'm going to be hunting these down now. And if you're an IPA fan like me, you might be doing this too. The bronze from Long Beach, California, and Ambitious Ales is an IPA, a hazy IPA called Professional Human Being. It is, they say, brewed with Citra, Nelson, and Motueka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's Motueka, Motueka hops. Professional Human Being is a hazy IPA designed by the team at Ambitious Ales to have intense fruity notes, including papaya and gooseberry, and a citrus-forward finish.
Gooseberry.
Yeah. By the way, Professional Human Being was awarded gold at last year's Great American Beer Festival.
And still coming in at bronze this year.
Yeah, bronze, for this. So that's very, very interesting. Yeah. In the second place, in silver, from Bend, Oregon, and I want to say this name right, from the Magnanimous Old St. Francis School in Bend, Oregon.
That's a mouthful.
The hazy IPA called Icy Fog. Let me read you what it says here in the article. It says, made with Pilsen, white wheat, oat, malt, and flaked oats, as well as Chinook, Simcoe, Vista, Mosaic, and Nectar hops. This beer is brewed to contain tropical fruit flavors and notes of candied oranges and herbal dankness.
That beer sounds like a science project.
Yeah, if you're thinking of taking a trip to Bend, Oregon, try this beer. You should know that McMinimus Old St. Francis School is a hotel in addition to being a brewery. So how's that for convenience?
That's pretty cool.
I like that, yeah. I'm going to be downstairs
Stay where
trying
you
the
drink.
beers, and then I'll be headed upstairs and going to bed.
The name of that just makes me think of the nun in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
That's all.
Exactly.
The gold handed out to the best hazy IPA, Cosmic Cali from Spider Bite Beer Company in Holbrook, New York, and Great South Bay Shore, New York. So Cosmic Cali, a California-themed beer, from a New York-based brewery.
So West Coast Hazy.
This collaboration combines
I
two
love
award-winning
Spider Bite
beers
Brewery.
from two Long Island breweries, I know, into one epic juice bomb of a beer. They're still South Bay's. The beers are Great South Bay's Cosmic Juice IPA and Spider Bites Going Back to Cali IPA.
Going back to Cali.
Which, by the way, one of the coolest songs ever.
I don't think so.
The breweries put these two beers together, combining the best of both existing recipes into Cosmic Cali. And the judges at the Best of Craft Beer Awards were impressed enough to crown this the world's best for 2025. It's a hazy IPA that sounds good enough to plan a trip to Long Island to try. So that's what they say in the article. And I will just say, by the way, that in combining the two, it doesn't work if you just get the two and combine them.
Just pour them together. Doesn't
Because I've
the same.
tried that in an attempt to recreate Sailing Santa from St. Arnold, which was the Alyssa IPA with their Christmas ale, and like it's just not that good. But boy, when they do it, oh, that's a great beer. So
It's all about
anyway,
the ratios. Have you tried this beer yet?
I have not. This is the beer from Dogfish Head called
Festina Peche.
Festina Peche, and it's supposed to be a
Ale
peach.
with peaches and natural flavors.
So
Yeah,
this
really
is not
nice.
just peach flavored from hops, but this is actually using peaches.
I watched
in the beer.
Chef sniff it, take a sip. The glass didn't make it down to the table
before
he
you put it
took
back
another
up
one.
again.
took
Yeah.
another sip.
Yeah, it's nice.
This is
And that's
quite good.
pretty much what I did.
I-
It's really good.
I hate to admit it, but honestly, as y'all are trying it, I've already finished mine.
It's
Terry's
nice.
ahead of us.
It
I'm
was
telling you,
really good.
Festina Peche is a Neo-Berliner Weiss style ale brewed with boatloads of real peaches, satisfyingly tart and plenty juicy. It is both
I
of
like
those
the
things.
tartness.
That's true.
So one of
It's the perfect warm weather crusher. Enjoy notes of juicy peaches and freshy tart.
I
refreshing
love
tartness.
Dogfish Head. Their 90-minute IPA is one of my sort of go-tos, and when I want to get
yeah.
really adventurous, I go for the 120.
I've got a bottle of 120.
Re-
Actually, I've got probably 3 bottles in my fridge that have been conditioning for a couple years.
And you have not invited me over. Why? So, you know what else I really like from Dogfish Head is their Sea Quench Ale.
yeah.
It's such a good sort of salt and lime summer beer ale that's good. But this is just absolutely packed
Well, they
with
have the
flavor.
Raison d'Etre. They have the Palo Santo Marron. They have
And the one that's named after
so many
the,
good beers.
They've got the one that's named after the Flaming Lips song. Remember that they did with the
Oh,
Flaming
yes,
Lips?
yes.
I haven't seen
can't
that beer
remember
in
the
a
name
long
of it, but,
time, so I can't think of.
They
what it
also
is.
had one that was from an ancient scroll, or
Oh yeah, I remember.
it was
that
no,
one.
it was the King
was the-
Midas
yeah,
touch,
yeah.
right?
Well, these days, Dogfish Head is owned by the Boston Beer Company with
Yes.
Sam Adams. But what I love is they've kind of left them to their eccentric
Let
selves.
them do what they do.
You know, not that Boston Beer isn't their own, awesomeness, experimental brewery at times, but Dogfish Head really had that, just kind of wild and independent streak to them, and it still feels like that's intact, even after being bought by
Well,
Sam Adams.
Sam Adams is not without being somewhat adventurous with some of their offerings, but they're always still in the commercial lane, whereas Dogfish Head kind of goes wherever they want to go.
Right.
I mean,
Sam Adams is that beer that, when you are at a place you're not familiar with and you don't see much on the beer menu, but they've got a Sam Adams, you're like, Sam Adams
Sam
Boston
Adams is
Lager.
gonna do just
That's
fine.
going to do just fine. Yeah.
Was this something you could buy individual? Or was
I
this...
have not seen it individual, but that doesn't mean it's not there. I got it in a mix pack,
In a mix
from
pack, okay.
from Dogfish Head,
it's really good.
and it's really delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you may be able to buy it
I'd buy a
individually, though.
six-pack of that. I mean,
It's
that's
interesting.
great.
It's just got
For
the
the
like
summer.
Yes,
the kiss of
exactly.
tartness to it is so good.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you said,
the tartness is great.
like you said, it has that peach, like right by the pit flavor, as
This-
opposed to the sweeter.
This
peach.
needs to sit next to like a key lime pie.
Ooh,
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah, now you're talking.
Oh.
So this is, makes me want to ask chef questions because we're
Chef.
talking about those kind of flavors. We have a chef sitting here. What is different and what's similar from crafting recipes for great dishes in the restaurant versus crafting great spirits for the distillery? What is it more similar or more different?
It's for what we do. It's very similar. It's
Okay.
almost the same. which is why I love gin, because I've got all these
So
different
much-
ingredients,
so much different
so
stuff
much
you can do.
range of
Yeah.
things that we can do. And if you guys want to come down to the distillery, happy to host you. And if you want to do,
Oh no, we couldn't.
oh yeah,
Oh,
you want to
geez.
do a podcast down there or
We'll
something?
be,
maybe.
setting a date on that.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
you leave
Love
today.
this idea.
Because then you could try and you can smell all the different ingredients, because it's so amazing when you can actually smell what's going into it and then think about, okay, well, what can we really do with it?
Right.
Just like you said, most people are hesitant with gin because of juniper.
Right.
Because if it doesn't have juniper, it's technically not gin.
Right.
But I find too many gin makers go way overboard, and it's like, I don't like pine sol, and I don't
Right.
like licking a tree.
Well,
you know?
it's kind of like we've had this discussion about IPAs. Is like if it just tastes like a pine cone, it's not really
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah,
It's
if it,
It's
leaves,
not
if it
good.
leaves a
Yeah.
bit of pine
No.
cone stuck in your teeth
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Right.
when you got resin sitting on your tongue, it's not good.
Right, it's not what you were looking for.
No.
But you're right with the balance. And this gin that we tried earlier on the show here today, it was so beautifully balanced, and I absolutely loved it. And I found myself thinking, I could just totally sit and sip this neat, which is not something I think of doing with gin a lot.
Well,
so.
and just to plug it just a little bit, we just got a gold medal on it.
Congratulations!
Yeah,
I did not know
congratulations.
that.
Yeah, got
and
a
this is
gold
on
on that.
the one that we tried.
The one that you tried, yeah, we got a gold on that and a silver on the vodka.
Wow,
in New
that-
York.
That is impressive because there's an awful lot of competition at those things, isn't
Yes,
there?
Yeah.
there is.
I would guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's kind of a
That's
big deal.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. I like this.
And we're just down in Kemah, little tiny Kemah.
Little town of Kemah.
right.
If you guys, any of you outside of Texas, if you ever come down to the Houston area, or if you're in Galveston as a destination, so south of Houston, north of Galveston, Kemah is a great little spot. It's a park your car and walk around. There's kind of an amusement park going on. There's great restaurants. You got Ishtia is
Correct.
the restaurant there. You've got Vinyl Draft right there, which
right.
which has a steakhouse right underneath it.
And a wonderful cigar lounge on the
Yes, he
second
does.
floor.
Yes.
Doug does a
Doug-
Yeah,
great
Doug's
job.
so great, and it's so much fun. They have events, they have bands at night, they have all kinds of stuff going on there.
And the boardwalk is lots of fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, they've got rides and
Yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure.
that out there. Yeah.
So it's definitely worth trying. And a lot of people don't think of the greater Houston area in terms of things like that. But this is,
Yeah,
it's a short,
and we
short
are,
drive.
and that's an hour or less.
Yeah.
It's
outside
40
Houston.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have traffic, it's 40 minutes. If you have less traffic, it's 35 minutes.
And there's lots of cool places to stay should you decide to stay at
There
the
is.
Oh,
distillery
absolutely.
for
Yeah.
an extended period of time.
That's right.
And enjoy the
Hotel across the
offerings.
street.
There are places to crash and enjoy the sort of seaside vibe, which is very cool. Tell you real quickly, while we have a couple of minutes left in this segment, about some cigars to watch for. There's a new Trinidad brand that's meant to appeal to the casual connoisseur who's more comfortable in flip-flops than in Gucci loafers. Altadas USA has collaborated with Tommy Bahama
Tommy Bahama of all people.
for a new line called Trinidad by Tommy Bahama. Now, I love Tommy's shirts.
So you could get the shirts, you could get
Yeah.
the sunglasses, and smoke the cigar.
Now you know what kind of vibe they're going
Right,
for creating here, which is what I like. Trinidad by Tommy Bahama Island Collection is a series of cigars that encompasses the ethos, they say, of both companies. So blending that sort of Caribbean Tommy Bahama vibe with the laid back luxury with a love of really good and well blended tobacco. So they've got multiple lines of island inspired clothing, of course, and cigar accessories. I have a really cool Tommy Bahama table lighter that my wife got me for Christmas a few years ago, which I really, really love. So anyway, this Trinidad by Tommy Bahama, the Island Collection, was conceived by Rafael Nodal, the Vice President of Product Capability for Tabacalera USA, and some guy named AJ Fernandez, who
What does
apparently
that guy know about
apparently did the
blending?
blending on this cigar. So
That guy's
you know,
amazing.
being a fanboy, I'm totally down. They're intended to be medium, and they come in 3 island themed sizes: Harbor, which is 5 by 52, Breeze at 6x54, and a 6x60 they call Marlin. Prices range from about $16.50 to about $18.50 for retail. You probably get a
So
little cheap.
in the super premium range.
Yeah,
I'd be
definitely.
interested to try that though.
Yeah, but other Trinidad's I've had, my favorite is the
Espiritu is
Espiritu
so
number
good,
3. I love that cigar,
Yeah.
but every Trinidad I've tried has been worth the time, worth the money. All right, we got to take a break. We have more spirits to try. Oh, it's going to be rum time. I love rum time. That's one of my
What do you
favorite
do
times.
with a drunken sailor?
We will find out next. It's Smoking Toast. Love that sound.
The
I love
sound
that sound.
effects.
It's just the sound of promise. You know, that's the way I look at it. The sound of promise. Welcome back. It is Smoking and Toasting. It's show number 441. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. We have Chef David Skinner in the house. He is not only a celebrated restaurateur and entrepreneur, but one of the things he has decided to do is open a distillery. And we have been tasting his wares, and I got to tell you, exceeding expectations so far here today.
So much.
On the show, and I love that. It's like, you didn't expect it to not be good, but you maybe didn't expect it to be this
So
good.
I
that's
was
awesome.
introduced to Meticulous Spirits by Roberto
Okay,
from the Spirit Box.
sure.
We were talking. He's like, "Oh, have you had this yet?" And he had, I think, one of the rums at the house, and and we tried it, and it was really, really outstanding. And he has been raving about it. So that's actually
Thank you.
how I got tied into this, and I love that. So thank you, Roberto, for that.
Absolutely. And,
Yes.
and it's important to thank Roberto from time to time, because if you don't, he gets a little pouty.
He does.
Have you noticed that?
He does.
Yeah, Roberto's one of our friends of the show. We have several friends of the show that come in and crash whenever they sort of feel like it. Roberto is definitely one.
Yeah.
And there's a few more, but
Like the
they're
fifth
always
Beatle.
welcome.
We haven't had Chris in a while.
He was one of my favorite pod crashers, and the reason is because he always brought like 7-8 bottles of whiskey with him. He's okay as a guy, but boy, he is whiskey. Yeah,
There you go.
That was really rocking. And of course, Alan Denny comes in from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's always kind, gives me a cigar.
And don't forget Chris Morris.
Yeah, he's one of our favorite pod
This
crashers, too,
smells
so.
delicious.
All
By
right,
the
so
way.
we're looking at some silver rum, and I'm a huge rum fan, but I have to say, I lean heavily towards aged rum.
Yeah.
Something that's picking up some vanilla and some maple and some things from barrel aging. So I'm really interested
This
to see.
has a very natural sugar cane ish.
What's interesting is that my first response to it on the nose is it reminded me of like a younger tequila, like with a little bit of that agave.
Yes.
Our goal
thing
is
to
to
it.
try and make it more like an agricole.
Yeah, well, it's definitely got that too. Have you taken a sip?
I
yet?
haven't sipped it yet. I'm just enjoying the nose on it. The nose has
So
such a warm, friendly kind of flavor to it.
Yeah. So A-test molasses and sugar from Louisiana.
This is and Louisiana has
All right. It tastes exactly like it smells. It's really nice.
it's got a nice little sugarcane
Yeah.
finish to it.
Yes.
Very authentic.
If you've ever actually chewed on a sugar cane, it literally has
what it
that-
should be.
Yeah, I mean, it literally has.
and if
that.
you
It's
haven't,
really,
you should. By the way,
really
'cause it's a cool
natural.
experience. Yeah,
That is.
it's a cool experience. I like this very much. I think this also would be great for mixers too. For
Yes, very
for
much.
making cocktails with that call for rum. Because a lot of cocktails that call for rum, you don't even really want to put that aged rum in them. You want
No.
this more silver.
No, you need something a little more
yeah.
neutral, but with a little bit of flavor.
Right,
Yeah.
that's got a little bit of that island vibe to it. This has just
But
a
here's
tiny bit of the
here's
funk,
the
but
thing:
not
we're
too much.
sipping on a silver rum, and I think we know there's a lot of big companies where we would not be sipping on the silver rum.
No.
Agreed.
Yes,
and we've had some
exactly.
here on the show that we've said this would be great in cocktails.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be something we'd pour
Right.
in
Now, this has a little
Glencairn
bit
sip.
faster heat that sneaks up. Again, it's
Yes.
not an immediate, but it comes back up a
does
little
come on.
faster. It's really, really nice.
I like rum.
And
I
you
really
said
I
the
do
way
too.
you age this is as tropical aging.
This is not aged,
Oh, okay.
but the next one you'll try
Okay.
is. Yeah.
right. So this is just basically once it has been distilled, it's
just
bottled
ready
and
to
sold.
go.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll proof it
Which-
down and then bottle it.
Right. What is it? What proof does it have a tendency to come out at?
Oh, this comes out about between 116, 124.
Okay, yeah,
somewhere
I
in
got you.
there.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And
So-
you're bottling this at 42.
42.
Is that where it just hit the sweet spot for you?
Yeah, that's kind of where we liked it. We're unusual in that we don't use like tap or DI water to
Yeah.
proof all of our spirits. We bring in water from Italy. It comes out of the Bretano aquifer.
That can't be cheap. to
It's
do.
not cheap. No,
Water from Italy?
water from Italy.
Wow.
But
I mean, that's
it's
such a cool
perfectly-
idea, but yeah.
And it's not
perfectly
light.
balanced. Yeah.
like that shipping costs have to be outrageous on
Yeah.
that. What does this silver rum go for in the bottle this size?
I think it's specs and total wine. It's like $28, $29.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Now, your vodka and your gin were both in the $40.
$40.
Yeah,
range.
39, 42, somewhere in there.
That's amazing that these are all, I mean, just on the nose for sipping at
Yeah.
that price.
Yeah,
The
but
price
that's the
range
idea,
you're in,
right?
You're
So-
keeping them at a great
Yeah.
price,
Yeah.
and they're just excellent for sipping.
Well, this is that better ingredients thing makes better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
So question,
But not that, you didn't go that much higher on price. I mean,
No.
it's great.
not to jump into political stuff here, but if you're importing water from Europe and that becomes substantially more expensive because of tariffs, which we, as of
Yeah.
this recording, we don't know. But like, assuming that it does, do you reevaluate?
No.
Or do you say, if we have to raise the price a little, we have to raise the price
Yeah,
a little?
well, if we have to raise the price a little bit, we will. I mean,
You'd rather stay with what's working.
we will not sacrifice on quality. And you can
that.
tell that, right?
How
Yeah.
has
It's
your,
quality
how's
in
your
the glass.
reception
Yes.
been on these? Are you getting these in
Really-
bars and in
Yeah.
places?
So,
I mean,
like-
bartenders got to love this.
Yeah, like Lalo and other places, tiki
Yeah.
bars, they love our rums.
I bet
yeah.
the tiki bars do.
Yeah, Layla's such a fun place.
Yeah.
So, real quick, just back to the question of expense. Are people prepared to be paying more for spirits these days than say, 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
I think so. I mean, I think
for a certain level of quality.
for a level of quality.
Right.
Yeah. The problem is you've got, celebrity brands that have come out that, want to charge, an arm and a leg. And
Right.
It's like, yeah, well, George Clooney's not in the bottle. So,
Right. My thing is, as I get older, quality over quantity, right?
quality.
When
always
I was
wins
younger,
out.
Yes. Oh,
when
yeah.
I was younger, it was how much. Now it's how good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
Don't have time for bad whiskey or
All right,
bad
we got
spirits.
We got drinking news coming up next, and we still have an aged rum to try, and one more beer. We'll be right back. Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. Chef David Skinner is with us today with Meticulous Spirits and, of course, his illustrious restaurants, which we'll talk a little bit more about, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the aged rum here in just a few moments. But right now it's time for a staple on this show. It's something that has won us currently, I believe, 0 awards. It's drinking news.
Drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. A Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
I had to take my gator to the vet.
drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all. Why does that make me so happy? it's a sick.
We have a collection of recordings of people
Yeah.
saying that. And I
It's-
absolutely love that.
It's wonderful. Sometimes in the evening, I'll just play them back on my phone. It's a wonderful thing. Well, there's no real way to prepare you for our first drinking news story today, so I'll just get right to it. We're going to take a look at the fact that art is an incredibly subjective thing. I have personally seen some works of art that have taken my breath away. Even abstract art sometimes, although I will readily admit that I don't understand it, can still be incredibly moving. Even supposedly common works of art can at least be interesting. Personally, I absolutely love the dogs playing poker painting, even though I know it's not considered to be a legitimate piece of art. But I mean, what's not to like? It's a group of dogs and I love dogs, sitting around a table with whiskey. I love whiskey and cigars. I mean, I love cigars, and they're playing poker, which I love to play. And I think
And
it's
they
awesome.
look like they're having fun.
Yes,
And I like
exactly.
fun too.
Exactly.
If my wife would let me, I'd hang a print of it in our apartment, but I don't think that's likely to happen anytime
You know,
soon.
it's funny thing because I made a really beautiful clock out of an old table saw blade, and for some reason my wife won't let me put that up in the living room. And I'm
Everybody
like,
has a
this
taste.
is literally a blade that's older than
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
made it into a clock.
It sounds good to me.
A saw
Yeah.
blade.
I'll put it up
clock.
in my living room.
You know what? You know what I feel like a wife would say about that? That
Yeah.
looked great in the garage, hon.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I
All
got
your
from
other
it.
stuff.
The,
Yeah.
the whole point here, though, is I'm not too snooty about my art. But even I have to question a new sculpture installation in New York City. It's the work of Mika Rottenberg, and she's described it as an overindulgent creature from my drawings. Now, that may be, but what Rottenberg has erected, and I use that word on purpose, in Manhattan's Highline Park, is a 10-foot tall phallic column with a weird-looking foot at the base, various mouths and protruding tongues along its sides, and some sort of sprinkler on the top. Basically, it's a 10-foot penis with a foot at the bottom that squirts on people as they pass by. Now, if you're watching a video version of the show, we have a picture of it for you right here. If you're listening to just audio, Google New York penis foot statue, and you'll be able to see what New Yorkers see when they walk through Highline Park. I'm just going to pull it up on my iPad here to show the guys in the studio.
Aha.
This is the sculpture.
And it has to
In
be
question.
pink also.
Yeah, yes,
You know-
I didn't mention that,
Yeah,
but you're
the
right.
pink, yeah.
It
I
is.
was gonna say what was she thinking, but I think I have a pretty
I think
good
we
idea
know.
once
You
I
have
see
a
think
it.
pretty
we
good
know.
idea what
Yeah.
she was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
I say that good art is art that makes you feel something. And in this case, I suppose that's successful, as most New York residents report feeling a little grossed out when the damn thing squirts on them. But weird as that is, our main story on today's Drinking News may be even just a little bit weirder. And if I gave you 3 guesses as to where it took place, I bet you'd nail it with the very first one. Because our main story involves a Florida man,
Florida man.
70-year-old Patrick Francis Mitchell, who has been arrested by Lady Lake, Florida police. If I think
A Florida man being arrested? That's so strange.
Yes.
if I think back to my childhood and remember what my mom used to feed us, there are 2 absolutely gross things that she seemed to think were fine, but they make my stomach turn to this day. Spam and Vienna sausages.
We used to do spam and potatoes.
Spam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Spam.
My mom had a spam and potato casserole
Yeah.
that actually was kind of good.
Spam, as you
Spam a
know,
lot.
is the ultimate mystery meat. It is heavily processed and contains only 6 ingredients: pork, salt, water, potato starch, sugar, and sodium nitrate. Salt.
If you go to Ninja Ramen, they'll sell you. You can get the fried spam.
Spam was invented during the Great Depression as a cheap substitute for more delicious meats. And it's worth noting that every time the United States has entered a recession or an economic turndown, sales of Spam go up exponentially. Now, as to Vienna sausages, I don't understand how anyone could look at them sitting in their can of goo and think they would be even remotely edible.
Have you eaten one of those?
Have you
The
had those?
texture?
Yes, but in
Because
fairness,
if the look doesn't get you, the texture will.
Yeah, yeah.
in fairness, though, some people do love them.
And my dad loved them.
They basically mush.
But they
Food-
have a barbecue
Food
version.
scientists,
Have you tried the
yes, there is a
barbecue
barbecue version.
Yeah.
Food scientists say the reason some people may love them is because, most likely, because people eat them cold when the fat is solid.
Yes.
You know, I guess to each his own.
That's it. Yeah.
But our,
Has anyone ever heated them up to eat them?
I
I've never
haven't.
seen
I've
that
always
or
had
heard
them
of
cold.
that.
that would be the food connoisseur. We have a chef here
Yeah.
in our midst.
Yeah.
Would you heat Vienna sausages
No,
or eat them
absolutely
cold?
not.
Okay.
Cold.
You
Good.
can make hors d'oeuvres.
Now, if you're
with
going to
them.
heat something, fried bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
had
So
no idea.
that's actually oddly good.
You
Yeah,
had no idea
oddly
you'd
good.
be asked Vienna sausage
I did
questions when
not,
you came on
no.
the show today.
True chef question.
Well,
Yeah,
there was really no
exactly.
way to prepare you for this.
No, there wasn't.
Our Florida man must have experienced childhood trauma by being forced to eat them like I was. Because what got the man in trouble with the cops took place in a Sam's Club store in Lady Lake. Police say that Patrick Francis Mitchell was caught on surveillance footage committing his crime in aisle 14, where he targeted
P. Fran, not there.
188 bulk units of Vienna sausage and 345 units of Spam Classic. The police affidavit details how he approached the pallets, positioned himself,
No.
and remained there for several seconds.
No.
And my favorite quote from the officers who made the arrest, from the Marion County Detective Ronnie Williams, highlighting the clear evidence captured on the camera as being, and I quote, behavior consistent with urination. End quote.
Consistent with.
urination.
Yep, that's right. Florida man peed all over pallets of Spam and Vienna sausages. After the incident, Mitchell casually moved to the snack section and spent about 10 minutes sitting on patio furniture before proceeding to the checkout, where he paid for his items and exited the store. Police who examined the camera footage.
So
and-
hold on a
and the
second. A
urine
Florida
soaked
man
item-
went into Sam's and paid for items?
Yeah, I know. It's shocking, isn't it?
This story is getting less believable.
Yeah.
Police who examined the camera footage and the urine-soaked items arrested Mitchell at his home shortly afterward. Apparently, the damaged merchandise totaled over $10,000.
You know what? There's nothing more sealed up in a can than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it probably wasn't too damaged, but
I guess he
still,
must have
nobody
really had
wants
to go.
buy it.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, apparently.
Nobody wants to buy
Yes,
it.
but no one's buying the previously peed cans.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Clearly, though, our
I
Florida
mean,
man.
they've been rinsed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Clean up on aisle 2.
Clearly, though, our Florida man was making some kind of a statement. I mean, he didn't just pee at the first thing he found. He made his way all the way to aisle 18 and specifically chose the Spam and Vienna sausages.
You know, so was this premeditated? Because
Yeah.
like
Had
he
to
had
be.
to have, he had to pee.
Well, as much of a
Right?
statement as that is.
Yeah, did he drink a lot of water first and then plan on it, or did it just happen when he was there? He was like, "This is where I'm going."
Was it a crime of opportunity? I
Yeah.
wonder.
I think he was making a statement.
Yeah.
Or,
And
or did he premeditate this?
And as much of a statement as that is, here at Drinking News, we can think of perhaps some more important statements to make if you're going to urinate on something. And now, mind you, we are not encouraging you to take a whiz at an inappropriate place.
Thank you, Johnny Knoxville, for that disclaimer.
Yeah.
But if you are so inclined, perhaps this handy little top 5 list will help you choose the statement that you really want to make. Do not do this. But just in case you can't help yourself, here are the top 5 places to relieve yourself if you really want to make a statement.
Oh boy!
Top 5 places to relieve yourself if you really want to make a statement. Don't do this.
Don't do this. We are not liable for this.
Number 5, the bags of out-of-date potato chips at the Family Dollar store.
Ooh.
Number 2, a Chicago liquor store's display of Jepson's barrel-aged Malort.
There you go.
What have you done?
Yeah. Barrel aged.
Number 3, R. Kelly sheets. Number 2, Number 2, on any car's bumper sticker that reads "Gas, grass, or ass, nobody rides for free." And the number 1 place to relieve yourself if you really want to make a statement, and please don't do it. Number 1 would be in the yard of your neighbor whose dog always does it in your yard.
That's called returning the
Payback.
favor.
Yeah.
Reporting live from Sam's Club in Lady Lake, Florida, where they desperately need to clean up on aisle 18. My name is Cruz, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your...
Drinking news. I started on the wrong chord. Drinking news. Drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news.
Cheers,
I
y'all.
thought maybe
Man,
you were going
yeah.
to sing the R. Kelly thing. that
Somebody in
that
Florida
David, Chappelle did.
Somebody in Florida had a bad day at work when they were
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
we're going to need you to clean this up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should have stayed at home.
How bad do you have to go to do $10,000 worth of damage to sealed
to spam.
stuff on a
Spam.
pallet?
Yeah.
Oh, you
That's
know,
all I'm asking.
but you know also They marked everything that
everything up.
might have been.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And
Did
within
he
a
walk
10-foot
across
radius
it,
of
or
it.
was he able to just like stand back and get a good arch?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the
It's like,
question,
wow.
the question is, did he?
Dude,
did
you
he,
got a lot of stream. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you imagine though their insurance company? I'm sorry, sir, urination is not covered in our
Exactly.
policy.
Did he lawn sprinkler it, or
Yeah.
did he
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
sow the field, so to speak?
Well, apparently, all I know is that his stance was consistent
Consistent
with
with
urination.
Urination.
So,
That
So
is
there you
the
go.
best line.
I think about the only thing that could move us forward would be some really good rum.
We're gonna have to rum.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the aged rum. So tell me
Barrel
real
aged.
quickly, barrel aged. So tell me real quickly about the difference between this and the silver that we just had.
Yeah. So what we do, we take the silver, we put it in our wine barrels. So it's actually aged in
Yeah.
barrels that previously had held wine. One of the things that's really different. So
It's almost a chocolatey nose.
yeah, it
to
is.
It
isn't it?
really is.
Yeah.
This is delicious.
Yeah.
My first
It's
sip of this, I
amazing.
was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long has this been aged? I know rum doesn't have to age as long
Mm-hmm.
as, say, a bourbon would, but how long has this been aged?
What's your guess?
I don't know, 3 years?
9 months.
No, how
Really
do
look at
you
the
get,
color of that.
How do you get this much of the attributes of the barrel in 9 months?
Tropical aging. So we keep the barrels outside so that they're completely exposed to the elements. You get a lot of
Are
angel
you
share.
including like direct sunlight, or do you have?
Yeah, direct sunlight, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we live in Houston, so like
We get lots of
the other
variation.
day, I saw someone talking about heat, and they were like, "Oh, 87 degrees and 70% humidity," and I was like, "That's like at 3 a.m. here." in
Right.
Yeah.
Houston."
That's
So,
like a beautiful day.
Yeah, that's like
what that
that's
is.
3 a.m. and in the summertime. So I mean, 100 degrees lots of times here.
Yeah.
So-
Direct sunlight here is brutal.
Yeah,
is.
it absolutely is. I mean, I've
Yeah.
become a creature of the shade like 100% of the time because of the fact that direct sunlight here is so brutal. You know,
So you
But
can get
that's-
much faster out of here than the tropical aging.
Yeah, so it's the same thing that you would get if you went down to Barbados or somewhere, right? I mean,
Right.
they're
that's why you
sitting
call
out-
it tropical.
That's why it's called tropical
because the
aging.
humidity and the
Yeah.
right.
And so you get a lot of evaporation, a lot of angel share
So
comes out.
the barrel
but
breathes a lot, though.
it breathes a lot.
Yeah.
I feel bad for
but
these
that's
guys who
what
are like
makes it.
loading
just
their
delicious.
barrels onto like boats and going out and having them rock back and forth in the ocean. So all he does is like, yeah, we took ours outside.
Put them in
we
the
toss it in the
backyard.
backyard.
Yeah, put them in the backyard. Yeah. But we don't let anybody come and pee on them.
Yeah,
So
that's
the main
important.
part. Yeah.
Important to know.
Yeah.
This rum is wonderful. What does a bottle of this cost at my favorite?
It's in the
Spirits.
50s.
That's really amazing. It's quite good. I'm just amazed that you were able.
There's so much
to do that
wood
in 9
in
months.
the
Yes.
aftertaste too. Like it just leaves this
Isn't it great?
oak on the palate, like
Yeah.
And as
and
I'm-
astringency.
As I'm known to do, I will now quote Kenny Rogers. It's the wood that makes it good.
That's right.
And that is true in this case too. No, honestly, it's got this wonderful
Kenny
astringency.
Rogers. I remember that when you said that. I kind of remember the commercial.
Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Yeah, that's those are all out of business, which is kind of a shame because their food was pretty
That was
good.
like late '70s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe into the '80s a little bit. What year was Islands in the Stream? That was
Well,
80s.
that would have been like 80, 82,
Yeah,
83,
yeah,
that is
somewhere there.
Yeah, it
82,
was
83.
around there. I just remember there was some woman who went to one of his concerts protesting like the animal.
Oh, yeah, PETA.
PETA type thing. So she went to one of Kenny Rogers' concerts back when he was alive, dressed in a chicken suit, and started harassing him from the audience. Which, that's just awesome.
awesome.
I love Kenny Rogers, but that's awesome. All right, we got to take a break. We will be back. We still have one more beer to taste, and I really want to taste it alongside this rum. So we'll do that next. It's Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back, my friends. It's Smoking and Toasting, show number 441. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. Chef David Skinner is with us from Meticulous Spirits and his restaurants. I wanted to talk more about the restaurants, but I've been so blown away by the spirits that we haven't really been able to get there. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, every single thing we've tasted today has surpassed what my expectations were.
Thank you.
And that's a big deal because we've tasted a lot of things on
I
the
can
show.
believe that.
We've been here for 441 episodes, and I have to tell you, every one of these has outperformed what I was expecting it to do. This latest one, the aged for 9 months rum, is in my mind performing like something that's been aged for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
and it's
It has
just
such a. I
spectacular.
mentioned during the break, it has such a unique nose on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't pin it until you mentioned that it was aged in wine barrels, and I went, oh, okay, it's that. It's that
Yeah,
wine.
it's got a finesse to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you're someone like me who really loves the rums that are going to have, the vanilla and the caramel
Yes.
and it's got all of
You
those
can
notes
taste
happening.
the oak in it too. The
Oh, it's
oak is
wonderful.
so big.
It's absolutely wonderful. So I was wondering how this would combine with our final beer.
Have you smelled this beer yet?
This beer is from
Yeah, it's
Cycle
crazy.
Brewing. It's a barrel-aged stout. Cycle Brewing, St. Petersburg, Florida. It's just called
This
Friday.
smells like breakfast.
It
Oh,
does.
oh, it totally does. It almost smells like a cereal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like huge cereal notes. It
Yeah.
also has a bit of that exact smell like when you walk into a brewery, and you have that
Tastes like breakfast too.
It does.
So I will remind you that there is a category called breakfast stout. It didn't say that, I think, on the bottle.
Holy
But
cow!
I would totally
Yeah.
put this in the
Oh,
breakfast
yeah.
stout category.
Easily.
This is. I want to pour this on pancakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? This with
Totally.
a little bit of butter on a pancake. Phew.
This has got a sweetness to it that a lot of stouts don't have.
Really
This is
sweet.
incredibly sweet.
Very sweet.
Very.
If you were to drip a little bit of this under your bottle and leave it there for the next day, you may not ever be able to get the bottle.
Yeah, picked up
Yeah.
off the table. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm now going back to the rum.
I can't believe how much
That's a good
cereal
combo.
that is.
Okay, so it changes the rum. You lose a lot of the barrel aged vibes from the rum,
Wow.
but it gives you this rum like sugarcane punch.
Yeah.
That's
That-
interesting because it does strip a lot of the flavors, but it leaves something nice.
Right, absolutely.
I don't like it better this way, but it does leave something nice. It's pretty interesting.
Now, I will say, second sip of the rum takes you back a little more to what you experienced
Yeah.
at first.
Cleans the palate off.
And then I'm interested going back to the stout.
It leaves almost a chocolatey note left in the rum.
I don't know if these two are
On the
best
retro
pairing.
hail, on the retro hail especially, it leaves almost a chocolatey note right there. It's really interesting.
I don't know if these two are the best pairing. And so often, our last beer and the last spirit will mix
It
rather well.
strips the beer down to oatmeal.
Right. Right. And I think both of these are probably better by themselves.
By themselves.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting to try because sometimes they do form like
Complement.
Voltron, as Ian is fond of saying. But in this case, I think both
No,
of them
I
are
don't-
exceptional.
I don't think that these go well together, but they're both very good.
They are.
Exactly.
You know what they both would go well with though?
A cigar.
A really nice Maduro cigar. Oh yeah. Give me a little of that Maduro sweetness. Give me like an AJ Fernandez, San Latano Maduro,
Superfly.
Toro. Oh, dude, yeah, you're talking serious.
Oscar Valdez Superfly would go great with either of these.
So very
that
interesting.
broadleaf
We've learned
from Stallone.
Oh, yes, for sure. Well, I got to tell you, we have been very impressed with your spirits from Meticulous Spirits chef
I
David
love the
Skinner.
name, by the way, too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the name
It
is
kinda
great.
says a lot
and I
right
love
there.
the classiness of the bottles. They've just got this like sort of classic,
You
look to
obviously
them.
are having fun picking out the bottles for each
We
one
did.
as well.
We did.
The vodka is very austere and tall, and then the gin is kind of a classic, almost trophy style. The silver rum is a very classic flask
Yes.
shaped bottle, and then your barrel aged rum is very classic, almost barrel shaped.
You mentioned,
bottle.
Chef, that you were a gin guy.
Yeah.
Is your gin your favorite thing from your spirit line? Do you have a favorite?
Probably the gin.
Yeah,
Probably
it's so interesting because gin lovers are an interesting like group of people because I find that they're more unique. You don't run into gin lovers as often as lovers of other spirits, but they seem to have a real uniqueness to them.
We're an odd lot.
When that's what I was trying to say. Yeah,
And
thank
they're
you.
usually very passionate about
Yeah.
it. Like
Right.
the gin people
Yeah.
are more passionate about it than any other.
I think so.
Spirit there is.
Yeah.
Remember Matthew Horseman? That guy was.
Oh yeah.
Over the top. Love the
remember
gin.
he had that little contraption that he brought in that was so cool of how to make a gin cocktail. Well, I got to tell you, this has been an eye opener for me because I have a tendency to be, I don't know, maybe a little prejudiced toward companies that have been in business for a long time, that have been doing it for a long time. I figure they've learned the secrets, they've unlocked the doors, they've mastered these things. And how long has Distilled Spirits been up and running? Meticulous Spirits been up and running?
2020. So we opened
5 years.
right during the pandemic.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, wasn't
But
it
this
great?
is unbelievable
Yeah.
because you've brought in not one but a whole group of spirits that have blown us away today. And I got to
How
say
many
that
expressions do you actually have now?
So for
You've
the
shown us 4 here.
Yeah, you saw 4. So there's 5 gins, and then we have 3 rums. So there's a single barrel strength rum that's been 2 years.
okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
are you thinking
fantastic.
about doing your own bourbon?
We have a bourbon, like I said. We bring it in.
Yeah, right. You have a blend. Are you thinking about
do.
doing one that's distilled?
We
with your own-
will. We're going to do. So we've got some that we're aging, and then we'll redistill, and then bring it out.
Well, this extra cool rum that you're mentioning, this is something we could sample if we take up your invitation to come down to.
Got
the,
it. Anytime. Anytime.
You had me at rum. So thank you so much for being here for the show today.
Thank you
These have
for
been
inviting
all
me.
fantastic. We invite you to look for them. And if you are in Texas, you should be able to find these fairly easily.
Specs and Total
If you're
Wine.
not, then keep your fingers crossed because they're coming soon to a place near you. But go and check them out on the web at Meticulous Spirits. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to everybody for being a part of the program today.
Also,
number 441.
just look up Chef David Skinner. What an interesting. You have a website and
Yes.
stuff that's just about
Instagram.
you and your restaurants and everything else. Just incredibly interesting.
Thank
Love
you.
it. Have a great week, everybody. We will see you back here next week for show number 442. And until we meet again, my friends, cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
I can't